Hi guys, Brexiteers Christine Hamilton and Danny Kelly were invited on to GB News to discuss immigration and the disaster surrounding the Bibby Stockholm. The wife of the disgraced former MP mixed up the European Convention on Human Rights and the EU, claiming that the European Union is punishing Britain for Brexit, which is nonsense on a whole number of levels. But her comments were supported by Danny, who believes that Britain can have its own set of human rights, which demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the European Convention on Human Rights. Have a listen to this.
We left Brexit, that's why.
We're punished for Brexit.
We're being punished for Brexit. What we need to do is get out of the ECHR.
But they're completely unrelated. Now, first of all, this idea that the European Union is punishing Britain for Brexit. How? How is the EU punishing Britain for Brexit when it comes to immigration? You know, I know certain Brexiteers will say, well, the French are punishing us for leaving the European Union by allowing all these people to come over. That's nonsensical. But this idea that the European Union is punishing Britain for Brexit, that's why Britain needs to leave the European Convention on Human Rights. I honestly believe that some Brexiteers don't understand the difference or believe that they're somehow linked because they both contain the word Europe.
Danny, do you agree with that? I mean, the European Court of Human Rights protects us all to a certain extent. It's not just migrants.
What really frustrates me with people who oppose Christine's proposal is the fact that they say, well, I quite like human rights. I mean, the supposition is based on the fact that we are not going to give anyone any human rights. We're a perfectly civilised country, one of the most civilised countries on planet Earth. We're more than capable of making some sort of equivalence with human rights.
We can debate that. You know, you look at the right to protest at the moment that the Tories are taking away. But the point here is not about, well, we can have our equivalent set of human rights. Like, the driving force behind this whole argument is we need to take away rights from asylum seekers. Just think about the humanity there. But by leaving the European Convention, European Court of Human Rights, or ending the European Convention on Human Rights, you're taking away rights that British citizens have. Like, if you say we're going to have our own equivalent one, no, you can't. Because it's a higher court. It's an external court. So whatever rights you provide people, they'll always be limited to the state within the jurisdiction of the United Kingdom. This is why, for example, the Hillsborough disaster and the justice that the victims needed, they had to go to the European Court of Human Rights to get the justice they deserved. They couldn't get it in Britain, so they had to go to an external court. They had to go to a higher court. So even if you were to, like, I don't believe this guy for a moment, but even if you were to take his position of, well, we're just going to replicate the rights that we have. Yes, but if those rights are not being protected by the state, where do you go then? When you have the European Court of Human Rights, you can go there. It doesn't always work. It doesn't always protect people's rights, but at least you have a chance. Under what these Brexiteers are suggesting, you wouldn't.
I mean, it was David Cameron who promised to get migration down to the tens of thousands. I mean, where's that gone? I mean, I think the Tories have basically lied to the electorate all the way through.
I really don't understand this obsession with migration. Since Brexit, the UK is suffering a shortage of workers. Can't get the staff, companies can't get the staff they need, farmers can't get the staff they need, and there's still this obsession with immigration. We need to bring down the numbers. We need to keep foreigners out. You know, businesses are struggling. They can't expand their enterprises. We can't grow the economy. But it's more important that we keep foreigners out than we grow the economy. It's more important that racists and bigots are satisfied, even though they're never satisfied, than we actually lift ourselves out of this quagmire. But once again, this idea that, well, the EU is punishing Britain for Brexit. Well, I thought Britain held all the cards. The Brexiteers said, we hold all the cards. When we leave, it'll just be sunlit uplands. But all we hear is complaints from Brexiteers. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.